Yeah, so the medical device regulation, as you say, comes into play May 2020, hugely significant for the industry. There's a lot of confusion about the medical device regulation. It's far more extensive, it's far more stringent than the previous MDD. So a lot of the manufacturers are feeling a lot of pressure to get their sort of technical documentation in line, whether establishing whether their classification of their devices may go up. So yeah, it's a pretty chaotic time for manufacturers. Yeah, so the medical device regulation had a 3-year transition period, came into play in May of 2017. The European Commission gave that 3-year transition period, obviously because of the big overhaul of the regulation, the amount of work that had to go in, not just from manufacturers and distributors, but also the notified bodies, all of the competent authorities. It was quite a big undertaking, so they did give a 3-year transition period for that. Yeah. So at the moment, it is still open to interpretation. The notified bodies who obviously issue the CE marking certificates, QMS audits, etc. As I say, at the moment, it's still open to interpretation to see how they view the regulations. The European Commission are releasing lots of guidance documents around specific areas of the regulation. That's still ongoing at the moment. They'll continue to do that until the cut-off date of May 2020. Yeah, so I think it would be more the SMEs, the smaller, medium-sized manufacturers, that don't quite have the resource that the larger manufacturers, like your Johnson & Johnson, Stryker, etc., that they have. Obviously, they've got large quality and regulatory teams. The smaller businesses may have a much smaller team or may even outsource it to consultancies. So they might struggle due to the sheer amount of work they may have to do with getting up to the MDR standard. So notified body is an independent third party that comes in to audit, review manufacturers' technical documentation, all of their systems, procedures to ensure that the products are safe to go onto the market and safe to stay on the market. So their role is to issue the CE mark certificates. Currently they're seeing a lot of pressure because there's only 8 MDR certified notified bodies. Obviously there are a few more that are pending, but the whole notified body sort of area is being really stretched at the moment, obviously because of the regulation that's coming in, and also a lot of manufacturers are placing demand on them to get their certificates either renewed or initially certified. Yeah, I mean it is difficult for them because there's a lot of routes that they can take. Do they, with the notified bodies, with the Brexits, do they transfer all of their technical documentation over to an EU notified body? Could be very costly, could be very risky because they could interpret the regulation differently. There's so many strains to the manufacturers at the moment. Especially with up classifications as well. Under the MDD, they could have been a class 1, very low risk, non-invasive device. Under the medical device regulation, it could be seen as a whole new device. It could be up to class 2, class 2A, class 2B. And obviously the regulation is far more stringent on that. So, there is some confusion around the classification of devices under the new regulation. And it's very difficult for them to navigate the changes. No, no, definitely not. So as I say, within Europe there are only 8 designated notified bodies. Do they the manufacturers take the decision to transfer their certification to an EU notified body? If there is a hard no-deal Brexit, the CE marking certificates for UK manufacturers, if they've got a UK notified body, might not be valid in the EU, and vice versa for EU manufacturers. The UK MHRA may not accept those as valid certificates either. So, there's a big question mark over Brexit at the moment. Yeah, so Procorre can help via multiple avenues. We can obviously offer support within all areas of regulatory affairs, whether that's EU MDR. We can offer 2-day bespoke training course to get manufacturers and all their relevant staff up to speed with the regulation, get the management involved so that they know what's expected of them and what the consequences of little or no action could be. We can help support map out the actions that are required and the outline of work that needs to be done for the transition from MDD to MDR. And then looking at the wider picture, we can offer an ongoing outsourced solution for not just quality, regulatory affairs, but commercialisation, NHS contract strategy, importing, exporting, marketing strategy, clinical report writing. So we like to offer a really wide range of support services, very comprehensive range, so that we can help support manufacturers and distributors as well navigate the chaos of the industry.